Morning, guys. How you doing? Will, just prepping. You guys got your coffee on, I hope, because we're going to be talking about some threat assessments and whatnot. How to get you prepared for a situation. Stand by. I'll be there with you in a second. Alright, we're back, and let's talk about threat assessment in case you were to be hit with a situation. Threat assessment is actually the only way that you can be truly prepared for a situation that may arise. This is really just for the middle class or the middle of the road type of stuff. It will, in order to prepare you, you have to know just exactly what you're going to be facing. You have to dig down and you have to identify the changes that you face both before and after the disaster. By performing a realistic assessment, you'll be able to identify the threats before they become a danger. So the three primary threats that you want to take into effect are: you want to make sure that you're identifying the situation, you want to make sure that you're assessing the situation, and then you want to make sure that you're going to manage the situation. So first step is to analyze the situation. It's the most likely threat that you will face, and it's most likely that you'll face it who or what or even when the threat occurs, not even if but when you're vulnerable. Is when they'll affect you. Natural disasters, the most likely disaster in your location, will be how you want to assess it. Say you live in an area that has a lot of earthquakes, so when an earthquake hits, you want to make sure that you have your plan of action in place and you know exactly how to assess the situation. The SHTF situation is the greatest threat that you'll have to have. It's probably going to be some sort of political situation. It could be coming down to either a chemical or even a biological or radiological or even a nuclear attack, and that's the worst kind of situation that you would really have to worry about. Personal threats are economic problems or job loss or maybe even a home invasion or a debt, something like that. And then your security, and that is what are the largest security risks that you may face during the event, or that you may have in your area, such as things like gangs, or maybe criminal activity going on in your neighborhood, or other issues that you meet in the urban settings, you know. So you want to know what are your immediate dangers in the location. So that's what you want to do, is you want to make sure that you're going around, you're finding out exactly what the issues are at the location you're at. Like, say I'm right here in my home, right? So if something happens, I want to be able to get away from my home, need to go around, walk around, assess the situation. You want to walk around your neighborhood. You want to be friendly and courteous to your neighbors, try to find out what their issues are and what's going on with them. That's all part of the assessment process that you have to do in order to get through any kind of situational awareness. Is there anything at all that might stand out? That's one of the things that you're going to be looking for. Looking for things like obstacles or dangers that may be specific to your location. I mean, there may be something that happens and you go out there and you go, hey, that's not right. That's not supposed to be like that. That doesn't happen here. So that would be something that would stand out, you know, to you. So something else you might want to consider is you want to make sure that you want to check around the neighborhood and make sure that there's no things like water coming up out of the ground or maybe the smell of gas in the air indicating a ruptured gas line, something like that. And then you would be able to assess that to the first responders as they come. They come and they check you out and they go, oh, do you know what's going on? You go, well, over there 2 blocks east there, I saw some water oozing up out of the ground. Maybe the water pipes or the water main ruptured and is starting to come up out of the ground. Or, hey, over there 2 blocks to the south of me, the neighbor was telling me they smelled gas, so maybe there's some gas lines ruptured or broken. So these are the kind of things that you want to make sure that you're assessing. You're doing this on a thought process. You're doing it kind of quickly. Even though it sounds like I'm dragging it through, you'll be able to go out in your area, kind of walk around, assess it the best you can. I mean, we're not perfect. We're not trained professionals. Well, you may be a trained professional, but I'm not. So you want to make sure that you're assessing your situation and making sure that there's really not going to be any threats, which brings us to the next part is assess your dangers. You want to assess the dangers. You want to assess the efforts it's going to take, and you want to figure out how you're going to protect yourself or your family or even your community from that. So how will the threats affect you? That's one of your first things you want to think about. If you have a threat, you want to figure out, is it going to affect you? Is it going to affect your family? Is it going to affect your neighborhood? How will each situation affect your overall preparedness effort? Say you're prepared. We as preppers are usually prepared. We have our food, our water, and our shelter and all that stuff that we're supposed to have, right? But not everybody's going to be in that situation. So you want to make sure that you assess that so that if it's going to look like you have more than them, that you have to dumb down and kind of act like you don't have anything either. So that's part of it. You also want to, you're going to need to know what you need to protect your family and your property. As part of going out and walking around the neighborhood, talking to the neighbors, talking to the first responders, making sure that they know what's going on. That way, at the same time, you finding out if there's going to be any threats for you and your family and what you might need to take care of that. If that includes carrying a firearm, which is something I do all the time. I don't do it in my home, but I have it at the ready. I can just walk over and grab it. I know exactly where it's at, So those are the kind of things that you want to really know about. You may have to have like your shotgun at the front door, and beating stick at the back door, things to protect your home. Some of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're going to minimize your risk. Something like I was just talking about whether you want to have a shotgun at the front door, a stick at the back door, or a pistol on the side. Minimize the risk. That way you don't have to worry about other things that are going to pop up unexpectedly, so that you can focus just on that item. So you need to develop an appropriate emergency response plan, and then you just make sure that everything's in place so that all you do is, as the issue happens, you've assessed the situation, you make sure the guns and everything are in place, whatever you want to do, knives, whatever, it doesn't matter, everybody's different. Then you want to assess what you have to do to take care of all that situation. And you want to make sure that you have your game plan. Stick to the game plan, you guys. Remember, we've always talked about sticking to the game plan, so that's what you have to do. You already have your emergency preparedness game plan if you're a prepper or are starting to be a prepper. Everybody that teaches anything about emergency preparedness will teach you to have a game plan. Know what you're going to do when all hell breaks loose. So what you need to do is you need to find out the intelligence, get the information from multiple sources, which I was telling you about, by talking to your neighbors, the first responders and stuff like that, and making sure that you're sticking to the plan. The first part of your plan is going to be assess the situation. Have self-awareness. That's the first part of the plan. The second part of the plan is stick to your self-preparedness plan. And that is when I talk to you about making sure you got the guns there. Another thing you have to worry about is you might have to put dark shades or boards up in front of your windows from the inside, not the outside, so that if you have more resources than most, you don't want them to know that you have them. So you want to make sure that you're covering the windows, maybe have a little hole in there so you can look out, but basically just have your windows covered and your doors covered. So you want to make sure that you're assessing the threat and taking care of it, and that you're assessing the situation and taking care of that. And I've given you the steps in which you have to do that. So after you assess the situation, then you have to fall back into your plan. And it wasn't too far back I have given you the plan. The biggest thing is make sure you have that ICE card. I'm big on the ICE card. I'll be mentioning that ICE card in every video I ever do. So by the time you get done watching my videos, you'll know what an ICE card is. In case you guys have forgotten, an ICE card is in case of emergency. And on that card has your name and everybody's name that's in your group. And it lists a contact number for you and everybody in your group. Also all the medications for you and all the people in your group. And it gives the first responders or anybody that's trying to help you a foot up and being able to make sure that you're going to have everything you need and be safe. So basically that's all I got for you for today. But I do have something else, because it's right at the end of the video, and I always throw something in at the end. I do this on purpose. I do it so make sure that you guys are watching the video all the way through. And I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow at 1 Mountain Time, and that's going to be I'm going to try to do a little higher energy type of networking thing. I'm going to see how I can deal with that with my health issues, see how up I can get and all that stuff. But also Saturday we have the live stream, and then I'm going to throw this in right at the end, because I'm going to see if you're going to watch this all the way to the end. If you've gotten this far and you're watching my video, I want you to put in the comments down below that I watched the whole thing, Will. If you write that in the comments down below, I'll know you watched the whole video. So that's what it is for today, boys and girls. Remember, see you guys tomorrow. It's God bless you, God bless me, God bless USA. Till next time.